The NFL draft is complete. So we have 10 draft picks that we need to cover for the Steelers. So, in a pre draft situation, if someone had asked me, what is your ideal top two picks? I would have said Venga Ione from Penn State, the left guard, in the first round. And then I would have said Jeremy Bernard, the wide receiver from Alabama, in the second round. Now, Venga ended up going to Baltimore at 14. And it was there where I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the board and Mekhi Lemon's there. I'm like, I could see Pittsburgh taking Lemon. And, it's like, it'll fortify the wide receiver position, right? Because realistically, they were one injury away to a DK or a Michael Pittman from not having a very good wide receiver room. I mean, at that point, you're two, if one of them gets hurt, your two would have been, let me think. I mean, Roman Wilson, right? Maybe. Maybe it's Roman, maybe it's somebody else, but it wasn't ideal if DK or Michael were to get hurt. Now, with the drafting of Bernard, that definitely helps. But I was thinking Mekhi Lemon, and they were on the phone with him. They were actually on the phone because Dallas had 20. It's like, well, they're clearly not taking a wide receiver. So basically, they're on the phone with Lemon to say, hey, we're getting ready to draft you. There is a video. This ain't even rumor anymore. There is a video of it. And it happens a lot, especially in the later parts of the draft, where you don't think someone's going to take the guy, or someone trades up and leapfrogs you. And it's like, okay, but that's not usually videotaped. Here's the deal, right? Let's say they were going to take Max, and then Philly trades up to 20 to take Max. Well, there's no video of it at that point, unless someone at Max's draft party is taking the video of him being on the phone with Pittsburgh just for Philly to trade up. It was a big deal because Lemon was there. So they miss out on Lemon, end up taking Max Ionachor, the tackle from Arizona State. Now, he has that flexibility to play guard, but from the sounds of it, they want him to be a tackle. So you got to think, okay, let's say he's a tackle. This is the argument we're going to make. Argument's sake, he's a tackle. All right, is he playing left or is he playing right? Because at Arizona State, he played right. So let's just say, let's say for the sake of argument, he's going to play right. Well, now what's Troy going to do? Are you going to move Troy back to left tackle, where he played in college? Or could you play him at left guard? Because there is a competition at left tackle between Broderick Jones and Dylan Cook. Now, we have to watch for Broderick's health and see what's up there. But, I mean, in theory, you could tell Max play left tackle, right? And then just no competition. So you would have Max, whoever gets the left guard job, Zach Frazier, Mason McCormick, Troy Fautano. So there's definitely some play there with how you want the offensive line to go. Now, You could put Max at right, Troy at left. And again, there's at that point no competition. Or compete at left tackle, Troy, you're playing left guard. Because with his shorter height, everyone's like, oh, he'll just be a guard. But he had longer arms than Joe Alt. But because Joe Alt's 6'8", right? Everyone's like, oh, yeah, no, he's a tackle. Anyway, so they take Max, and we'll figure out the offensive line. Round 2, we get who I wanted, Jeremy Bernard. We had to trade up, 6 picks from 53, right? So we trade up 6 picks to get Bernard. Inside-outside versatility, just like Michael Pittman does. And I've learned stuff because I've been listening to stuff over the past few days. Jeremy Bernard originally started off as a guard. That was the first position he ever played. Guard. Amazingly enough. So, because of that original background as a guard, he doesn't have a lot of the wide receiver diva. He's a guard in a receiver's body. So he'll block, he'll do the dirty work, right? And, he's not going to be a diva, right? So that was interesting to learn. Round 3, pick 76. Drew Aller, this was the pick we got for George Pickens. Drew Aller, quarterback, Penn State. So we basically traded George Pickens for Drew Aller. And this was the first pick where I was like, why? Why did we just take him? And I understand it to the degree that he has, the things you can't necessarily teach. You can't teach someone to be 6'5". You can't. Sorry, Kyler Murray. Sorry, Garrett Nussmeier, right? So 6'5", big arm, right? The issue is his accuracy and his footwork, and he readily admitted he needed to work on his feet, and that's what he started doing. He's actually, with his private quarterback coach, he's already been starting to work on his footwork. So, third round, it makes you wonder, what does that mean for Mason Rudolph, right? So let's say Aaron Rodgers retires, hypothetical, and your quarterback room is Will, Drew, and Mason. You're probably still bringing in somebody, some kind of veteran somewhere. You're just going to bring in a guy. Hypothetical, Aaron decides to come back. Okay. What does that mean for Mason? Because I highly doubt you're about to cut Drew Aller after you just took him in the third. So now it's, do you cut Mason or trade Mason? Or do you cut or trade Will Howard? It's going to end up being Mason, probably. Because I think on a technicality basis, I think Will is actually QB1 right now, right? I'll check the Steelers depth chart really quick. But I think he's technically QB1, which is an odd thing to say. Okay, according to ESPN, Mason Rudolph is listed as the starter. Yeah. All right, this has him as Our Lads has him as QB1 as well. Though I thought I heard somewhere that Will might have been QB1, but it's definitely a competition between the two of them, at the very minimum. So we'll see what that means. Now, I mean, if in the third round you get a career backup, you'll probably take that. If the sixth round with Will, you're a career backup, you definitely take that. And if either one of those guys turns into the guy at quarterback, you're, streaking down the road. So, we'll see what happens with that. Though I find it a little funny that his parents are Cleveland Brown season ticket holders. And he got drafted by the Steelers. I just kind of find that funny. Dalen Everett, the corner out of Georgia, at pick 85. This was our third round pick. So, he is going to sit. Because we have Joey, he'll be on the outside. We have Jamel Dean, he'll be on the outside. Asante Samuel, he'll be on the outside. So right now he's looking at being our fourth corner for outside, right? He said he would practice in the slot. So could he be slot capable? Maybe. But even then, you still got Ramsey and Eccles. So my guess, we're not going to see him on the field for at least a year. It's going to be minimum year 2 before he really sees the field. He'll see it as like special teams, and if we get a rash of injuries, then we'll see him. But other than that, he's going to sit, he's going to learn, he's going to develop. In a year, Asante Samuel, his contract's expired. Brandon Eccles, his is expired. Jalen Ramsey, you're a year older. Jamel Dean, we can get out of his contract in a year pretty easily. So it'll be a year, maybe 2, before we see him like really, really compete for playing time. At the third round, we trade up from 99 to 96 to grab Jennings Dunker, the tackle/guard out of Iowa, the ginger mullet. So if you guys don't know who that is, go look at the combine when he's running the 40, and it just flows. So, right tackle, but apparently he started off as guard, because I guess at Iowa they want you to play guard first, then they kick you out the tackle. So he's already played guard. And he even admitted himself, he does not have the athleticism to play tackle in the NFL. He's like, no, I'm a guard. Now, in the most desperate of situations, could you throw him out at tackle and get through, a quarter, maybe 2? Yeah, you could. If break glass in case of emergency. In round 4, we at pick 121, we take Caden Wedgen. I think I'm saying that right. Wedgen. So, because it looks like Wet Gen, but I think it's Wedgen. He is a wide receiver from Iowa. So we take back-to-back Hawkeyes. And I say wide receiver because technically he is. But he's a returner is what he is. He is a kick returner and a punt returner. And it's like, is the 4th round too early to take a guy who's really just a returner? And he's like, he might be shorter than 5'9". He's definitely shorter than 5'10", but he might be shorter than 5'9". And he's like 190-something pounds. So he's not like Dre Archer, right? He's not like Calvin Austin, where they're like skinny. They're light. So he's actually got a bit of bulk to him. But in 2024 and in 2025, he won the Jet Award. So it is named after Johnny the Jet Rogers, and it is given to the top returner in the nation. So he is a two-time, back-to-back winner of the Jet Award. Then he is the Big Ten Return Specialist of the Year for both 2024 and 2025. He was first team All Big Ten Return Specialist in both 24 and 25. In 24, he led FBS with 1,055 combined return yards, 727 kick return yards off 26 attempts, ranked second with 328 punt return yards, 26 attempts, fifth with 28 yards per kick return, eighth with 12.6 yards per punt return, and that's in 24. In 25, he had 1,039, 26.8 yards per punt return, 29.8 yards per kick return, and tied the FBS lead with 3 punt return touchdowns. So, he set the school record with 6 kick return, punt return touchdowns. And that says 2025, though. That might be in his career. But basically, this dude is the best returner in the entire draft, for one. And for two, he's pretty much the best returner in all of college football. Doesn't matter, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, does not matter. This dude's the best at kick returns and punt returns. Now, here's the thing. People are going to complain that we took a returner in the 4th round, right? Okay. But if he's a Pro Bowler as a return specialist, do you really care? Like, that's the thing about some of these draft picks, right? Is that it's like, okay, is it the flashiest pick? Is it the sexiest pick? No, it's not. But if the guy ends up being a good player, who cares? 5th round, 169. Riley Nowakowski, tight end, Indiana. So this guy right here, he is a tight end fullback hybrid, similar to a Connor Hayward, right? But bigger. He's bigger than Connor was, or is. And he scored a touchdown in the national championship. By the way, this was our national champion for this year. Every single year, Omar Khan has been the GM for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have drafted a national champion. Think about it. In 23, they took Broderick. In 24, they took Roman Wilson. 25, they took Jack and Will. And now in 26, they took Riley. Now, technically, in 22, they took George Pickens, who was a national champion, but that was under Kevin Colbert, not Omar Khan. So this guy, he's a fullback. He really is. Because you got Pat, you got Darnell, you got like a J.J. Galbraith. They brought in a couple undrafted free agent tight ends. So, this next one here was probably the most confusing one. 6th round, 210, they took Gabriel Rubio, a defensive tackle from Notre Dame. On the surface, it's like, why? Why? Why do you think that? Because when you go to look him up, there's not a whole lot of information available. So if you go and type in Gabriel Rubio, Okay. 22 years old. He'll be 23 in July. He is 6'5", 321 pounds. Okay, good size. Right? Go. Click on his little scouting profile. He does not have a picture. You can't see it, but he doesn't have a picture. Right? So Notre Dame, St. Louis, Missouri, senior, 6'5", 321. No arm measurement, no hand measurement, no prospect grade at all. No analysis at all. Like, this dude was basically, essentially almost like me if I had gotten drafted. And it's like, who? Now, he did miss time in 25 to injuries. And in 24, he was on the Notre Dame team that went to the championship, but lost to Ohio State, that'd be. So, his dad, I think his dad's name was Angel, right? Angel is his dad's name? But his dad was drafted in the 7th round by the Steelers as well. Angel Rubio. NFL. Okay. So let's see. Drafted in the 7th round in 1998, 221 overall. Hey, you beat your dad. Good job. Pittsburgh Steelers, 98. Preseason off practice squad only. San Fran, 98. Cincinnati, 98. The Niners, again, 98. The Cardinals in 99. The Las Vegas Outlaws in 01. The Orlando Predators, 01 to 02. Detroit Fury, 03 to 04. Dallas Desperados, 04. Austin Wranglers, 05 to 06. So the last NFL team he played for was the Arizona Cardinals in 99. He spent 2 years on NFL teams, right? Bouncing around, but still. His college, Southeast Missouri State. So, does it give any information on his size, his measurements? Professional. He came in at just a hair under 6'2", 6'1", and 7/8", 300 pounds. So, congrats, dude. You're taller than your dad. So, not a whole lot of information to go off of. I guess he's a really good run stuffer. That's about it. I mean, I don't mind using a 6th round pick on a run stuffer. I don't. But I just also want to understand why him. In the 7th round at 224, we take Robert Spears Jennings, a safety from Oklahoma. Big safety, very fast. That's the short version of it. But I guess he can play in the box. I guess he can play free. He'll be special teams. I mean, in the 7th, what are you going to do? You're really just looking for, like, special teams or depth, somewhere. You're not looking for a guy who's going to come in and start. If you get that, fantastic. But otherwise. And then 7th round, 230, they take Eli Heidenreich, a running back / wide receiver from Navy. So he is a Pittsburgh kid, Mount Lebanon, I guess. Won a championship with them. Goes to Navy. He is like the top receiver in Navy's history, like the most receiving yards in like a season, I guess, or total. I don't know. But like he has like the amount of school records at Navy he broke is like insane. Just because it's like, really? That broke it. That broke the record. So you really classify him as a wide receiver and a running back. He is essentially the poorest of man's Christian McCaffrey, in a way. Like, if someone says, oh, he's a poor man's blank, he is the poorest of man's Christian McCaffrey. Like, that's basically it. Like, when you take their height, weight, the other measurements, time stuff, yeah. So, is it a feel-good story? It is. But is that the only reason why he was drafted? No. So, those are our draft picks. We did bring in some undrafted guys. I will bring that up quick. Because they're technically part of the draft class. Devin Boykin, cornerback from Indiana, another national champion. Dalen Carnell, linebacker from Missouri. Kevin Jobidi Jr., defensive lineman from Syracuse. Laith Marjan, a kicker from Kansas. That is our camp leg for the year because they don't let Boz kick in the preseason. Lake McCree, tight end, USC. I'm going to have to look up his size. Same thing with this guy. Shimon Metier, tight end, Arizona State. So we brought in one of Max's buddies. Let's get the size on Lake McCree. He is 6'4" and 249 pounds. Yeah, your average. It's not bad for a tight end. It's probably about average size. Maybe a bit above average. Shimon Metier. He is 6'4" as well, and weighs 6'3" and 7/8", but 262 pounds. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's no Darnell, but he ain't far off. Yeah, 6'4" and 1/8", 243 for the other guy. So they're about the same height. Literally a quarter of an inch separates them. Arm length 31.5 versus 33.5. Okay, so Shimon has longer arms. We're talking a 4.75 40 versus a 4.82 40. So again, Shimon wins that one, but he's also like 20 pounds heavier. I wonder if he's better at run blocking. Who knows? So those are our draft picks and our undrafted free agents. So we will see how things shake out as the off-season goes by. Until then, or until the next video, if you guys did enjoy this, please do leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, turn notifications on, go subscribe to the rec. I will have links in the description below. I have a video all about what's going on with that, so go check the video out and go subscribe. Okay? But I will see all you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.